Manor Inn's demolition permit is approved.
Rye-Town is working to fix the property assessment system.
Get ready for the MTA's increased fares.
Yes, the drought is officially over.
Home heating prices rise on the average.
And calling all residents to bark for the park. Those stories and more right here on this edition of Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News.
Hello and welcome to Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Sven.
And I'm Alyssa, Miro. Our top story? Get ready to dig deeper into your pockets to travel to and from New York City. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority okayed a proposed average increase of 25% on fares for the Metro North and Long Island Railroad commuter lines. The fare hike will go into effect on May 1st. The board also approved a proposed 50-cent increase in the 350 tolls on MTA's bridges and tunnels, including the Triborough Bridge and the Queens Midtown and Brooklyn Battery tunnels. The only good news, it seems, is the increase ensures no service cuts on mass transit. The MTA is facing an estimated $952 million deficit over the next 2 years. So although opposed by many, the increase is a necessary measure.
The revaluation of property in Westchester County is a sticky issue. County Executive Andrew Spano has been supportive of the matter, but some communities in Westchester have blocked it. In 1996, we reported that Governor George Pataki vetoed a plan for the reassessment of Westchester County properties. At that time, the business community had lobbied in Albany because corporations were of the opinion that they would face higher tax bills. Experts also suggested that condo and co-op owners would face higher tax bills too, while single-family homeowners would see relief. In Rye-Town, however, the revaluation is now underway. Residents will see a low-flying plane which will take pictures of the ground. The images from the air will reveal where owners have built decks, swimming pools, made additions to their homes that were never reported to the town. The changes of the property tax values are going to go into effect for the 2005 county and town taxes and for the 2005-2006 school and village taxes. This will only apply to Rye-Town, whether other communities and Westchester County will eventually also revalue properties remains to be seen, and we will keep you posted.
Numbers for Larchmont's proposed budget are still getting configured, but as it stands now, Larchmont residents can expect to see a tax increase of approximately 6.5%, which equates to $212.85 per $1,000 of assessed value, an increase of just $13.05 over last year. According to Larchmont Treasurer Carmine DeLuca in the Journal News, the proposed budget spending will be $11,237,645, an increase of 7.1%. Village services will remain the same, but one police car was cut from the budget. The increases relate mostly to a rise in liability insurance, retirement, and health and debt service costs. At this time, the village would plan to use $415,000 of the $2.5 million of the village budget surplus. Contact Village Hall at 834-6230 for information regarding the next Larchmont Board of Trustees meeting.
With news on the just issued demolition permit for Manor Inn in Larchmont, here's Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
A permit has been approved for the demolition of the Manor Inn. On April 7th, a 4-2 vote also approved the plan for the site that suggests splitting the property into 2 lots in order to build 2 single-family houses. Christina Bolton, one of the 3 sisters who owns the inn, was pleased with the outcome. Ms. Bolton's family has had the inn for many years. The inn was built in 1893, but there are still hopes that it can be preserved. After all, residents in the area noted that a certain neighbor had been negotiating with Ms. Bolton in order to buy the property and preserve it. Ms. Bolton has not confirmed this. However, the demolition had been approved by the Larchmont Planning Board in February. But the decision had to be put on hold due to the fact that there had not been a public hearing on the matter. A public hearing was held in March, and Ms. Bolton's application to demolish the inn was approved. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Glenna Gray.
Mamaroneck Water did not get a good report, but you can help. With the details, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Cruz-Colon.
The results of the Save the Sound Harbor testing program are in, and it doesn't look good. The study shows lower levels of oxygen than the sea creatures need to survive. You can see the results by logging on to the web at www.savethesound.org. The data was collected by volunteers who came from a range of professions, but all were trained to test for salinity, dissolved oxygen, and chlorophyll. They all ventured into the waters each Saturday morning during the hot summer when the heat makes it more difficult for the water to hold oxygen. Save the Sound is preparing to train people again for summer testing, called the Water Quality Monitor Program. In Westchester, the 2 sessions training course will be given at Harbor Park Island in Mamaroneck on April 25th and May 1st. For information, call the organization at 203-354-0036.
This past winter has not been a good one for consumers heating their homes. The Westchester County Department of Consumer Protection took a look at heating oil prices this winter. The average price of heating oil reached $1.394 a gallon for the season running from October through the end of March. This price was 29 cents per gallon above the price for the 2001-2002 heating season. On January 7, the average price of home heating oil per gallon was $1.357. The peak number was reached on March 7th with $1.765. On March 28, the average of home heating oil per gallon was down again to $1.457. According to Elaine Price, the Westchester County Consumer Protection Director and former supervisor of the town of Mamaroneck, about 60% of Westchester households heat with oil. The season's average price was not the highest on record, and that was reached in the heating season of 2000-2001. The fact that this season's average price was not the highest on record may be due to the fact that not all oil dealers participated in the survey. In any case, it was an expensive winter for homeowners, and at the taping of this program, it didn't seem to be over yet.
As we mentioned in last week's news program, many Village of Mamaroneck residents were upset over an additional school tax burden issued and handed down by officials in the town of Rye and the Rye Neck Union Free School District. In an update on the story, the town of Rye is appealing a decision the state office's board made last August that increased the school tax burden of some Mamaroneck Village homeowners living in the Rye Neck School District. The decision by the board reduced Rye City's 2002-2003 tax levy by 10.4% for about 400 homeowners and forced about 1,900 property owners in the village to foot an additional $660,000 bill. In Westchester, each town assesses property at a different percentage of market value. Then the state sets annual equalization rates for whole towns and segments of towns to ensure that taxpayers throughout the school district pay comparable taxes on comparable properties. City officials have said Portchester, where property values are substantially lower than the rest of the town, skewed the formula. We'll keep you updated on the appeal process.
With details about the 3rd annual Bark for the Park in Larchmont, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Cruz-Colon.
Larchmont's Arbor Day celebration will be held on Friday, April 25th. This year, the event will be held at Addison Park, which is located on Chatsworth Avenue, across from Chatsworth School. Bark for the Park 3 is in full support of this event. Some of you may not know, but Bark for the Park was originated 3 years ago to ensure care and focus for the parks and to provide an opportunity for green learning for our children. This year, Addison Park has been chosen as a site as an inaugural event to new exciting ideas for the park that will engage all ages from tots to seniors. We ask all those who plan to attend to come prepared. For all participating children, mud boots and shovels are suggested, because tree planting festivities where children will be able to get involved shoveling dirt, water newly planted trees, and learn about nature and the trees is the highlight of the day. We understand that a soon-to-arrive business in Larchmont called Langford's Ice Cream will be on hand to serve free ice cream. Planting a tree is one of the National Arbor Day Foundation's requirements to be a Tree City, USA, a title that Larchmont has earned for 24 years. This is certainly a good way to have our children learn and get involved with the community. For those who may not be able to attend the celebration, you can certainly consider donating one of the new benches in honor of someone special. All ideas will be welcome. For further information, you may contact Wendy Weinstein-Karp at email at newtrees4us@aol.com. Remember, the date is Friday, April 25th at 3:30 p.m. in Addison Park on Chatsworth Avenue in Larchmont.
Set for an opening on Larchmont's Palmer Avenue, here's Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Kate Fahey with the details surrounding the much-anticipated opening of Longford's own made ice cream store.
Longford's Ice Cream is soon to open in Larchmont at the corner space on Palmer Avenue that previously housed Baskin-Robbins. Longford's all about pleasing customers philosophy will be a big treat for Larchmont kids of all ages. Longford's, set to open on May 10th with a grand opening bash, is a current favorite in Rye for its welcoming old-style charm and for its fun and inventive flavors, including Oreo Bomb, Brownie a la Mode, Cotton Candy, and Blue Ice, to name a few. The shop is to open with 60 fabulous flavors on hand. Longford's was founded in 1992 and was looking to open another store in addition to its Rye store in a community similar to Rye. Larchmont was the perfect fit. For a delicious taste of what is to come, visit on April 25th at the Arbor Day celebration at Addison Park for a free sample of that famous Longford's ice cream goodness. For Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Kate Fahey.
Last year we reported on the drought in New York State and specifically the effects of it on our reservoir system almost every news show. The end of this drought has now been officially declared. Heavy rain and snowfall during fall and winter have filled up the reservoirs to 101.1% of their capacity. The average for this time of the year would be 95.5%. While the drought is over now, officials are still suggesting that consumers use water wisely and not waste it. One thing's for sure, in nature's cycle, the next drought will come. We just don't know when.
Now, I didn't know they could have more than 100%. The reservoir could be more than 100% filled. That's interesting, 101.1%.
Well, there's this, when it spills, then...
So does this mean we're going to have a hot summer, do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll surely report on it. Returning with her regular report on the world of real estate, here is Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
Welcome to the Real Estate Corner. We're going to talk about fair housing laws today. Fair housing laws go back to the Civil Rights Act of 1866. It was right after the Civil War that the federal government attempted to guarantee equal housing opportunities to all United States citizens. The law of 1866 prohibits any type of discrimination based on race or color. The law states all citizens of the United States shall have the same right in every state and territory as is enjoyed by white citizens. The ability to inherit, purchase, lease, sell, hold, and convey real and personal property. This law has been updated and strengthened during the 20th century. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 includes no discrimination because of religion or national origin. In 1974, it was extended to prohibit discrimination based on gender. In 1988, it was extended protection to cover handicaps and families with children. The New York executive law includes, and it covers, race, creed, color, national origin, sex, disability, age, and marital status. And the American Disability Act prohibits discrimination based on disabilities. If you believe your civil rights have been denied, you may call HUD at 1-800-669-9777. You have up to 1 year to file a charge with the Department of Housing and Urban Development or bring a federal suit within 2 years. Remember, all realtors must comply with the fair housing laws. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Glenna Gray.
If you want to have your say at the next Town of Mamaroneck public hearing, you should know it's scheduled for April 22nd. Some issues on the agenda include traffic safety and moratorium appeals. Some residents are requesting stop signs at Rockland and Avon and Rockland at Woody Lane. Others wish to see a no parking zone at Weaver and Rockland and on Sackett Circle. And 2 Boston Post Road businesses have petitioned the town to exclude them from the development moratorium imposed by the town board a couple of months ago. The Town of Mamaroneck Board will also discuss a proposal to the town code that would impose a 3-year tenure for all members and mandate a standard December 31st expiration date. This legislation would impact all committees, commissions, and boards whose members are appointed solely by the town board, with some exceptions. The legislation would also give the town board power to name board committee and commission chairs for any given year. To implement the new plan, a suggestion for the staggering of terms of office so that no more than 2 members' terms would expire in a given year was made. The future of this proposal, along with traffic safety requests, will be discussed further at the next public hearing on Tuesday, April 22nd.
It is time to get in shape for the Larchmont Run. With the details about the event and how to register, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Kate Fahey.
This year, the Larchmont Run is scheduled for Sunday, May 4th, and includes a 5-kilometer run, a 1-mile run, and a 2-mile walk. There is something for everybody, and the events are open to all ages. T-shirts and refreshments will be provided at this popular village-sponsored event. The 1-mile run is perfect for kids, and trophies will be awarded for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place boys and girls 12 and under, and ribbons will be given to all those who enter. The 5-kilometer run is a competitive event with running times and finishing places recorded for each runner. Trophies and medals are awarded for each of the following categories: 14 and under, 15 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and 60 and over. The 2-mile non-competitive walk is perfect for those who prefer a leisurely pace and for those with strollers. Pre-registration is taking place now at the village clerk's office for a fee of $10 for adults and $6 for kids under 12. You can also register at Flynn Park Playhouse the day of the event for $12 for adults and $8 for kids. The 1-mile run starts at 1 p.m., the 2-mile walk starts at 1:30, and the 5-kilometer run starts at 1:45, all again on Sunday, May 4th. See you all there. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Kate Fahey.
And that's it for this week's edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
If you want to see the news show again, you can. It's on every weekday night at 7 p.m. We record 1 show each week through Play It on this channel, LMC-TV channel 75.
Or if you want to request to see it, you can call LMC-TV after 4 in the afternoon during the week at 698-6808 and ask to see the news show. They'll try to put it on at a time that's convenient for you to watch.
And this reminder, this news program is an all-volunteer effort, and we could use a few more volunteers, either behind the scenes or as a reporter, or maybe you'd like to shoot video. Whatever the case, we need you.
And we'd like to welcome our newest volunteer, Laura Cruz-Colon, for doing a wonderful job reporting this week. And in short, if you want to volunteer to help us put this program on, we have something for you to do. Stop by some Thursday night in the LMC-TV studios and see how we do what we do.
The LMC-TV studios are in the Mamaroneck High School, the Palmer Avenue side, just up the stairs across from the landmark Walter's hot dog stand. We'll get things started around 7 p.m. and we would love to see you.
Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or some video of an event that you'd like us to put on this news show, bring it to the studio or write to us at Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News in care of LMC-TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, New York, 10543.
Thanks again for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Sven.
And I'm Alyssa Miro.
Larchmont's Manor Inn has a new owner.
Rhinebeck proposes its school budget.
Mamaroneck prepares to discuss the Harbor Island Master Plan.
Larchmont's newest CVS store is just days away from completion.
Sport Time will bring a tennis tournament to Mamaroneck this summer.
Stories and more right here on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
Hello and Hello and welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Mike Witch, sitting in for Sven, who's on assignment in Brussels.
And I'm Alyssa Miro. Our top story: get ready to dig deeper into your pockets to travel to and from New York City. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority's increase on fares for the Metro North and Long Island Railroad commuter lines will go into effect on Thursday, May 1st. The approved 50-cent increase in the 350 tolls on MTA's bridges and tunnels, including the Triborough Bridge and the Queens Midtown and Brooklyn Battery tunnels, will also go into effect. The increase, in the face of the recent allegations that the Metropolitan Transportation Authority used deceptive accounting to increase fares, affected residents in a variety of ways, ranging from anger to resignation. And many commuters arriving at Larchmont's Metro North parking lots last week began to discover something new on light poles: video security cameras. The cameras, which expect to be operational this week, zoom and pan 360 degrees and are monitored at the police station. Larchmont Police Chief Stephen Rubio, who fought for federal grant money to pay for the cameras, is pleased they will bring improvements to public safety in the upper and lower lots, particularly after dark.
The Rhinebeck school budget in 2003-2004 needs to pay for the rising cost of health insurance, as well as teachers for a growing enrollment. A proposed $23.8 million budget would be a $1.2 million increase from last year. Administrators say an absolutely accurate tax rate increase cannot yet be determined because of the pending litigation between Rye Town and Rye City. The enrollment is expected to increase 3.1% in the middle and high schools, and that requires additional staff, according to the Journal News. Other budget increases are attributed to unfunded state mandates. Administrators plan to save money by reducing budgets for equipment, materials, supplies, capital repairs, and special education. Trustees will adopt a spending plan April 23rd. Residents will vote on the budget and bond proposal May 20th.
Well, bulky house syndrome has been a big topic for board meetings in the village of Larchmont. Larchmont's just one of several Westchester communities trying to preserve its suburban character by stopping bulky house expansions on small lots, often called McMansions. Since August 12th, a moratorium was placed on building variances in Larchmont so the committee could study front, back, and side modifications on houses. The moratorium on related zoning variances expires on May 1st. A committee made up of 2 planning board members, zoning board members, Board of Architectural Review members, and the Larchmont trustees have been working on the issue of zoning variances since last fall. Phillips Priest Shapiro Incorporated, planning consultants in New York City, presented a summary of their findings and a draft for zoning code revisions. The draft includes various restrictions on house height ratios, house accessories such as detached garages, and dimensions on land use, among others. The presentation was taped by LMC-TV, as residents may request to see it by calling 698-6808. Residents had an opportunity to express their opinions at public hearings on April 21st and an extra public hearing on April 28th.
With news on the purchase of the Manor Inn that may save it from the bulldozers, here is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger.
The Manor Inn has been sold to Kevin and Beth Mullaney, who live in the same neighborhood as the inn. The Mullaneys plan to restore the inn, which was built in 1893. At the time it was built, the manor had several turrets, also known as belvederes. The Mullaneys also have plans to restore some of the turrets. Their main focus is on the facade of the building in the hope of restoring it the way it was. They will work with Chris Powell, an architect from New York, who specializes in restoring historic buildings to make them into modern homes. Some of the inn will have to be demolished in order to make it more suitable for the Mullaneys and their 4 children. The building, which is now 18,000 square feet, will be reduced to 4,500 square feet while maintaining the look and feel of an old resort hotel. The Mulaney's will also work with the Boltons in the refurbishing and restoration of the building. Michael Bolton's wife, Christine, is one of the 3 sisters who had previously owned the inn. There is still some work to do on the completion of the sale, including meeting with the Planning Commission, as well as other boards that deal with land use. The Mulaney's hope to move into the house sometime in May. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Christina Bolger.
Mamaroneck has approved Sport Time's proposed tennis tournament at Harbor Island this summer. Here with all the details is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Cruz-Colon.
Sport Time Tennis Stadium coming to Harbor Island. The word is out. The World Tennis Team, a national tennis league sponsored by Sport Time and owned by Claude Unkin and John McEnroe, will be coming to Harbor Island. There will be several matches starting July 7th and running to the 27th. After several meetings, the trustees of Mamaroneck Village unanimously agreed to accept the tennis proposal that Sport Time presented. Mayor Trifoletti was clear, stating that they need to go through the regular channels. They must obtain different permits and licenses to make sure that this event is safe and successful. According to the proposal, a temporary stadium will be built with a capacity to seat 2,100 attendees. It will be built next to the tennis bubbles and will measure about 8,000 square feet. The stadium will be constructed without any space underneath the stands for safety reasons. In addition, there will be a hospitality tent, restroom trailer, and sponsor booths, which will be paid by Sports Time. As per the contract for the event, the village will receive a guaranteed payment of $25,000. Mayor Trifoletti said that a committee will be formed after the tennis series is over to determine whether or not Mamaroneck should continue hosting this event. Security at the stadium is one of the issues that was brought up at previous meetings, but was quickly resolved when Mr. Oken said that the stadium will have locked gates around it. Parking, another hot topic, will be resolved by limiting the numbers of cars allowed to park at Harbor Island to event workers and everyone with box seats. All visitors will be directed to off-site parking areas like Mamaroneck High School. Sport Time representatives were excited about the decision. Mr. Oken said that this is more about keeping tennis and pro tennis at a grassroots level and hopes to have other events like clinics and activities for the children. Tennis professionals John McEnroe, Boris Becker, and Marina Navratilova will be among the participants. Sport Time director Eric Form hopes that as the word gets out that a professional tennis team will be playing at the Harbor Island, all tennis enthusiasts will come to support and root the team to a championship. Once again, those dates are July 7th to the 27th. A total of 7 night games will be played. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Laura Cruz-Colon.
Workers are as busy as bees as they hover around the soon-to-be new CVS site at the corner of Chatsworth and Addison in Larchmont. There are crews working on the parking lot surface and landscaping, while another crew is resurfacing parts of the building's exterior, and others are inside. April 28th is the much-anticipated opening day. There's been controversy surrounding the site, the previous home of the Grand Union, the village's last full-size grocery store. When the Grand Union chain declared bankruptcy and ultimately sold the Larchmont location, many residents organized in support of bringing another grocery store to the site. Though hardly a replacement for a grocery store, the CVS will carry milk, yogurt, eggs, bread, and butter, in addition to cold soft drinks, and the freezer will hold ice cream and frozen pizza. The pharmacy will also be bigger than those in some other CVS locations. If you or someone you know is looking for work, CVS is trying to hire more Larchmont residents. There are still openings for stock clerks, cashiers, and pharmacy technicians. Applicants should contact the store manager, Marvin Smith, in the store. And remember, opening day, April 28th.
If you are interested in putting your 2 cents in regarding the shaping of Mamaroneck Harbor, then you'll want to attend the Harbor Island Public Design Session on Saturday, May 3rd, from 9 a.m. to noon at the Rhinebeck High School cafeteria. You may have seen the recent airing of an infomercial on LMC-TV updating residents on the planning process and soliciting public opinion. The show included appearances by several members of the Harbor Island Master Plan Committee, Mamaroneck Village Mayor Phil Trifoletti, and a representative for the village's planning consultant. The long-term planning for the park is being funded in part through a $40,000 New York State matching grant, and resident input is desired so a balance can be met for those who want to use the park for active and passive activities. So bring your good ideas for our Harbor Island Park down to the Rhinebeck High School cafeteria on Saturday, May 3rd from 9 a.m. to noon. And just in case you need any additional incentive, coffee, donuts, and bagels will be provided. So that's great. You get fed and you get to share your ideas.
Great idea.
Well, Chatsworth Avenue gets a new sign to announce local news. Here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel with some footage and the details surrounding this exciting new addition.
Walk around Chatsworth Avenue and Boston Post Road in Larchmont these days, and you'll see what Judy Silberstein calls signs of village renewal. At the new CVS store, construction workers, landscapers, store management, and clerks are busy preparing for the store's opening by the end of the month or the beginning of May. The Addison Street Park has been cleared for new plantings coming later this spring. And in front of the pizza restaurant, you can see a distinctive street light and trash barrel, samples ordered by the village board, which is moving ahead with renovations on the busy street. But the most visible project is a new sign that cropped up last week outside the Larchmont Post Office. And according to Joe Bedard, General Foreman of Larchmont's Public Work Department, there have been numerous requests over the years from various departments and committees for a central location to post announcements visible to pedestrians and drivers. Larchmont postmasters have agreed to put the sign on post office property. Rick Viter and Vinnie Bianco, two members of the village yard staff, designed a sturdy sign that has slots for fittings in announcements from the Sanitation Department, Recreation Committee, and other village organizations, with permission to use the sign. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
May 15th was supposed to be Mamaroneck Village Manager Sanford Miller's last official day. It was the date on his letter of resignation. However, Mr. Miller, who took his vacation from April 21st to 25th, was asked not to return. Mayor Phil Trifoletti is quoted in the Sound in Town as saying his tenure year is over and he is in the phase of his life where he's moving. He went on to say, "We wish Sandy the best of luck and prosperity." Mr. Miller's early leave was based on a recommendation of the village board, according to trustee Tony Voza. Miller will be paid for the remaining 3 weeks in his contract, according to village clerk treasurer Leonard Verastro, who will be the interim village manager. On April 7th, an advisory committee was set up to look for a new village manager. Their first meeting was April 24th. The group consists of several residents and former officials. Mr. Verastro says he hopes to have a new village manager by the end of the summer.
With some highlights of the Mamaroneck School Board candidates, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
On Tuesday, May 20th, 2003, the voters of Mamaroneck will have an opportunity to elect 3 trustees to the local school board. Incumbents Celia Flesher and Alan Porter are running again. Lynette Sue, a resident for 16 years, will also seek a place on the board. The committee for the selection of school board nominees has endorsed these 3 candidates. Trustee Susan Spencer decided to follow Mamaroneck's tradition and not seek 3 terms in a row. Trustee Felsher is an attorney. Trustee Porter is a businessman who heads his own firm. Lynette Say was a former director with the Pepsi-Cola Company and is presently the co-president of the Murray Avenue School. We will keep you up to date on this election.
Please keep in mind that in order to vote in the school board election and budget vote on May 20th, you must be registered. You're considered registered if you voted in a general election in the last 4 years or in the last school election. To vote, you must be a citizen of the U.S., 18 or over, and a resident of the school district for 30 days or more before the vote. If you're not registered, you can register in the Post Road Conference Center at the high school on Wednesday, May 14th from 7 to 10 a.m. and 4 to 9 p.m., or with the district clerk during school hours in the superintendent's office, the Post Road building. The registration deadline is May 15th at 4 p.m. If there is a question about your registration status, call the district clerk at 698-9000, extension 370. If you'll be out of town or working late, please call the district clerk for an absentee ballot application.
Are you interested in becoming a naturalist? Well, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel has the details surrounding the training program at Sheldrake.
The Sheldrake Environmental Research Center is looking for people interested in joining their group of trained naturalists. If you're a fan of nature, like being outdoors, and want to be with others who share the same interests, you might want to take a part in a free professional naturalist educator training program at the Sheldrake Environmental Center. The center is a nonprofit organization whose main goal is to stimulate environmental awareness and action in the community and to protect and develop local resources. The training sessions will take place at the office of the center, which is located on the Larchmont Reservoir property, 685 Weaver Street in Larchmont. The certificate program shows how to direct nature walks, teach classes, and other educational programs for every age. The program runs 40 hours with 10 two-hour classes, and the curriculum will include all of the basics of the area's watersheds, forests, streams, and seashore ecology, as well as techniques on how to encourage groups of people on natural history topics. There will be an internship of 20 program hours of fieldwork aiding or directing groups at field site positions, too. The classes start in May and will run until June. The classes will start again in September. The classes meet on Tuesday morning from 9:30 to 11:30. And for more information, you can call the center at 914-834-1443 or email Deborah Lazarus at sheldrakeprograms@earthlink.net. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
In addition to the training program, you may want to head over to Sheldrake Environmental Center's Spring Festival, the Ice Cream Social, being held Sunday, May 4th from 1 to 4 p.m., rain or shine, at the Larchmont Reservoir, James G. Johnson Jr. Conservancy, located at 687 Weaver Street in Larchmont. Parking will be available just south on Weaver in the gravel lot or 1 block further south on Bonnie Way. A great day for free family fun is planned, including live reptile shows, children's stamp art crafts, wilderness and Native American survival demonstrations, face painting, live music with reunion, guided nature walks with Sheldrake naturalists, and of course, snacks and refreshments while supplies last, and free ice cream, generously donated and dispensed by Will Dorley and Chris Zefaris from their local Good Humor and Super Frosty trucks. For any further information or directions, please call them at 834-1443.
Wow, that sounds like a great day for family fun.
There's a
and
lot
free
going
ice
on.
cream.
What are you doing?
Ever hear the saying, tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree? Well, some Mamaroneck residents are making a connection with soldiers in Iraq by doing just that. Here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel with the story.
Since the war began in Iraq, yellow ribbons have appeared in hundreds of communities. Last week, as a sign of support for our troops overseas, Judy Ann Melagrano and Lucille Pinto made bows out of yellow ribbons and tied them to many of the parking meters along a stretch of Mamaroneck Avenue. Starting in front of O'Neill's Country Store, where they both work, the two crisscross the street, fixing ribbons to every other meter between Spencer Place and the giant American flag, which hangs over the street. Melagrano got the go-ahead from former village manager Sanford Miller a few days after a New Jersey mayor sparked controversy by banning the placement of yellow ribbons on municipal property. She told a newspaper reporter that she hadn't seen many yellow ribbons in Westchester County. And as the patriotic duo made their way along the street, people stopped to applaud and give them a thumbs up. Pellegrino has a nephew stationed abroad, the USS Theodore Roosevelt, and she said, "I wanted soldiers to come back knowing they were supported." Pinto explained, "I felt in my heart I had to do something to support them," and added, "The response has been fabulous." Pellegrino, who lives in Valhalla, said she plans to show her support for the troops in her own hometown by putting up ribbons around her neighborhood. For Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
And I know I have my
I
little
noticed.
yellow ribbon on here too. I
You've
wear.
got your yellow ribbon and the flag as
Yeah,
well.
I do. Thank you.
Nice.
Well, here with her regular report on the world of real estate, here's Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
Welcome to the Real Estate Corner. Well, spring is here. Are you thinking about selling your house? If so, what should you do? There are several actions you could take to help you prepare for the sale. Number one, take a good look at your house from the outside as well as from the inside. If you drove by your house, what would you think of it? How do the hedges, flower beds, shrubs, and trees look? And what about the garage? It's easy to spruce up your yard with flowers, shape the hedges, prune the trees if necessary. Clean out the garage, the attic, and basement. Ask yourself, do I really need these items which I have not seen for years? Would a little painting perk up the house? Are there any leaks or evidence of leaks in the bathroom, kitchen, laundry room, or elsewhere? Should you take up that rug you have grown accustomed to? Do you have a broken step that needs repairing? If you have a pet, does everyone know it as soon as they enter the house? Does sunlight come in, or do you keep the drapes up all year? These are just a few ideas for you to think about if you are presenting your house for sale. How do you price your house? Here you may need the experience of an MLS agent in our community. You can find help in the telephone book. Instead of from A to Z, we go from B, Balsher, to W, Weichert. For Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Glenna Gray.
Now, did you know, Mike, that just one day before the Larchmont Run, which is being held on Sunday, May 4th in Flint Park, that on Saturday, May 3rd, Larchmont's going to be hosting its very first pet parade at 3 p.m. down Larchmont Avenue. And it's true, and all kinds of pets, such as dogs, cats, turtles, lizards, fish, bunnies, let's see what else, hamsters, and other creatures are invited. First off, you'll need to head to Fountain Square to register and pay the $10 fee. Then if you're interested in attending, be sure to follow the following rules. All animals must be walked by an adult and may be accompanied by a child. Each pet must be leashed, caged, or otherwise suitably restrained, and no frayed leashes allowed. Pets must have a current rabies tag. No aggressive animals are allowed, and do not bring animals that are in heat. Owners are responsible for pooper scooping, and the pet's behavior is the responsibility of the owner. Control of animals must be maintained at all times. Owners of misbehaving or menacing pets may be asked to leave gracefully. And no pit bulls will be permitted in the parade in accordance with the Larchmont Village Code. Be sure to have firm control of your pet as they'll line up and travel down Linden to Larchmont Avenue to Constitution Park, next to the firehouse, for awards and treats. Proceeds from this event go to the Pet Rescue and the New Rochelle Westchester Humane Society. Should be a good time for all.
I've never seen a fish being walked.
Well, I guess it'll
the bowl, of course, the
be
bowl.
carried in a bowl. And then the very next day, we'll have the Larchmont Run. And that's it for this week's edition of Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News.
If you want to see this news show again, you can. It's on every weekday night at 7 p.m. We record one show each week, and it's replayed on this channel, LMC-TV, channel 75.
Or if you want to request to see it, you can call LMC-TV after 4 in the afternoon during the week at 698-6808 and ask to see the new show. They'll try to put it on at a time that's convenient for you to watch.
And this reminder, this news program is an all-volunteer effort, and we could sure use a few more volunteers, either behind the scenes or as a reporter. Or maybe you'd like to shoot video. Whatever the case, we need you.
In short, if you want to volunteer to help us put this program on, we have something for you to do. Stop by some Thursday night in the LMC-TV studios and see how we do what we do.
The LMC-TV studios are in Mamaroneck High School, the Palmer Avenue side, just up the stairs, across from the landmark Walter's hot dog stand. We get things started around 7 p.m., and we'd love to see you.
Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or some video of an event that you'd like us to put on this news show, bring it to the studio or write to us at Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News in care of LMC-TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, New York, 10543.
Thanks again for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Mike Witch.
And I'm Alyssa Miro. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for filling in.
It was fun for me, too. Thank you.
Glad to have you with us.
Larchmont's zoning code discussions are extended.
Mamaroneck Village officials discussed the approved budget, sewage plans, and Mamaroneck Avenue construction.
The Mamaroneck Harbor Master is scheduled to get a new boat.
We've got answers to all the questions about recent traffic on Mamaroneck Avenue.
Murray Avenue School makes plans for a spring fair.
And Longford's ice cream store gets ready for its official grand opening. Those stories and more right here on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
Hello and welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Mike Witch.
And I'm Alyssa Miro. Our top story. On January 30th, representatives from the DEC, Westchester County Department of Health, and Department of Environmental Facilities met with Mamaroneck Village officials to discuss the village's water problems. The groups have been working on a 5-year plan to repair and replace the village's broken down sewer system, as well as institute a Capacity Management Operations and Maintenance Program, the CMOM program, which is a comprehensive plan to map and monitor the sewer system. It will take 4 to 6 months, and the plan is expected to be drafted within the next few weeks and be in place by September. The Village of Mamaroneck has provided a schedule of addressing their deficiencies at their facilities to the DEC. According to the proposal, the village will begin remedial work in July on 4 sites on Frank Avenue, Wagner Avenue, Flagler Drive, and Rushmore Avenue. Bids for this project will be set up in June. The 5-year sewer and manhole project, which includes pipeline and slip line replacements, will go out to bid in September. The project start date will be in October. Sewage overflows are a primary contributor to the pollution of Mamaroneck Harbor. High bacteria levels have led to consecutive summer closures of Mamaroneck Beach. Some residents remain optimistic after a gunder boom was installed at the beach, which is supposed to reduce bacteria. Tests this May will confirm or deny the water's safety. With more on this topic, we had the opportunity to speak with Mamaroneck Village Deputy Mayor Bill Pianessa and Mayor Phil Trifoletti. Here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger with the interview.
Well, gentlemen, tell me about CMOM. That's the letter C and M-O-M.
Yes.
What is it?
It's a sewer maintenance program that the village is investigating and is going to adopt. It is a program in which you become proactive to sewer issues instead of reactive. And we are working with 2 consultants. We're going to pick one of the 2 to run the program for us. We've been getting presentations from the consultants and from experts on the CMOM program. And it's all part of the pollution program that Bill and I have been talking about for the last year and a half. We feel very strongly that you have to have a good plan in place, execute the plan, and CMOM, we feel, is the perfect plan for working on our sewers and, again, being proactive instead of reactive.
And we've entered a certain amount of money in the budget for cameras to help video the sewers, and this will be run through DPW. We've also purchased new trucks to maintain the sewers, washing them out, cleaning them out. We're talking about using Gunderboom type booms in the Sheldrake and Mamaroneck River where possible to help keep some of the debris, as well as monitoring the rivers that lead into the harbor. So it's something that with maintenance and vigilance on the sewer system, as well as stormwater runoff, we think we're going to get a good handle, not all at once unfortunately, but slowly, to improve the conditions down at Harbor Island that hopefully we'll be swimming in.
Now, excuse me,
Yeah.
you mentioned cameras. Tell me, the cameras are to monitor
Well, one of the
where
things we put into the budget, and I believe it was $15,000, was to buy cameras that you will put down into the sewers, and you run the cameras through the sewers and take live videos of what the sewer pipes look like.
I see.
And by looking at those videos, you can tell if you have to start maintenance or if you have something that's crushed that needs to be corrected quickly, and you really make a database. This is all part of the CMOM process. And you put together a database of data, and you could start planning to fix sewer leaks before they happen, because you could see the condition of the pipes as the camera's going through the pipes.
You know, Westchester County has a global positioning of sewers, actually, so we're able to actually see, as the arteries in your body, all the sewers throughout the village, and by maintaining those, we feel, closest to the harbor and working our way back, we at least prevent any catastrophe as far as a runoff or sewer break. It's going to be an ongoing project, though.
Yeah, right now we have 4 major sewer projects going on, one on Wagner, one on Frank, Rushmore, and Flagler Drive, in which we're going to have major sewer work done because of collapsed pipes. And so this is all part of our plan to get the sewers in the condition they should be in.
it sounds like a good plan to me, especially after all the storms that we've had.
That's right.
But we need the help, the sewers. They need the help, that is.
With news about the Mamaroneck Harbor Master's new boat, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Cruz Colon.
On April the 9th, Mamaroneck Board of Trustees allocated $27,500 to purchase a used boat for the Harbor Patrol. According to ex-village manager Sandy Miller, the boat will be paid for through future borrowing. Village attorney Kevin Plunkett is preparing the paperwork for the purchase now. For Harbor Master Jim Mancusi, the news was extremely good to hear. The current boat is getting old, and he knows it's time to get a new one. After being stranded in the Long Island Sound in March and dealing with an engine that caught fire, Mr. Mancusi said, enough is enough. Evidently, he would ride up on it, and it would break the ice, but then it would die out. The boat has no heat, so it got very cold. The Board of Trustees decided that it would be cheaper to purchase a new boat than to repair the old one. The engine and 4 out of 6 cylinders are not working. The current boat, a 1986 model Steiker craft with an even root engine, does have some wear and tear from being in the water year-round. Conclusively, the boat is still good, just not for daily water patrol. Once the new boat is purchased, the old one will be for sale. Mr. Mancusi stated, down the line, the new boat, that is a 1982 model Nauset, will be upgraded. Apparently, it has osmosis blisters, a condition in which water seeps into the fiberglass panels, causing cracks. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Laura Cruz Colon.
The Village of Larchmont moratorium on the issuance of zoning variances expired last week. The Village Board of Trustees has been working hard to modify existing codes to provide a balance between the interests of residents wishing to expand their homes with those who may be impacted by the building. The board had hoped to have a modified code in place before the end of the moratorium, but has decided to take until May 19th to deliberate. The board has held 2 meetings in which the planning consultants, architects, land use board members, and residents spoke. Focus has been placed on the height, width, and mass of home additions and new construction. The proposed changes break down into several smaller subgroups, specifically how to handle half stories, measurement of building heights, projections into yards, attached garages, corner lots, and setback tables. There were many opinions expressed, including one resident's plea for the board to consider the preservation of light, air, and green spaces in Larchmont's neighborhoods. After both meetings, some felt they wanted more time, while others are anxious to expedite the process. In fairness, the board settled on an additional meeting for further detailed discussions and a date of May 19th for voting on the zoning code. The village clerk will have information on dates, times, and locations of the extra meetings.
The Mamaroneck Village Mayor, Phil Trifoletti, and Deputy Mayor Bill Panessa stopped by our studios to talk with Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger about the recent budget approval.
Glad to say that for the Village of Mamaroneck this year, our new budget for the year 2003-2004 will show an increase of 5.49%, and that's after 5 months of a lot of work through a lot of people, including our former village manager, Sandy Miller, Lenny Verastro, our clerk treasurer, the board, of course, and the department heads, and our budget committee all worked very hard for the last 5 months to get that budget down to 5.4%.
So you said 5.9%, so it's almost 6%.
No, no.
5.49.
5.49, okay.
Right.
5.5, okay, excuse me. Now, why was it not any lower?
Well, actually, our budget increase for this year would have been zero. Had it not been for our contribution that we had to make to the state pension fund, which is a number that we cannot control. It's controlled by the state, and it's geared off of the stock market. And last year, we paid $58,000 into that pot of money for the retirement fund. This year, because the stock market went so low, our bill was $1.1 million. And so our entire increase for the budget year of the 5.49% is due to that state number. And everything else we have under control, and we really did a good job.
I think it bears to mention, though, that we kept the 11% of the taxable amount in the budget to pay for the full retirement fund, where other communities took 4, 5, or 6% of their actual number, less taxes at the present moment, but they're going to end up paying it on the back end. So we felt as a budget committee, which I was the liaison for, and they did a great job, as Phil mentioned, that it was prudent to basically, in the tax year, presently keep that budget a real number, not an inflated number or deflated.
More realistic.
Absolutely.
Number. It'll be a consistent.
And we did that to protect the village residents so that they don't get a huge tax bill down the road. You know, we ended up with the 5.49% this year, and we're prepared next year already for any kind of increases that come about in that state number.
And just to pick up on that, we went through with each department head, which is important, the police department, DPW, fire, and everyone was aware of the economic conditions we're in. No one really received any increase noteworthy of favoritism. Our volunteer fire department does an excellent job. The police department is getting 3 new cars. There were comments, why did we get 3? It was just the right thing to do, as well as we cut no one out of the budget. We didn't retire or
no
eliminate a
cuts
position.
Whatsoever.
No, services remained the same, and
Exactly.
as a matter of fact, one of the main contributors to our budget this year was tennis down on Harbor Island.
Really?
Through Sport Time. We will receive for them this year $208,000 for the regular tennis that you see under the bubbles through the winter that they run. And summer. They also are going to be giving us a minimum of $25,000 for World Team Tennis, which will start in July down there. And in prior years, we, as a village, used to run the tennis program over the summers, and we would lose $30,000 to $40,000. We don't have that this year because Sport Time is running it.
The Sport Time just started this year, correct?
Yes, it did.
And it sounds highly successful.
Absolutely,
And the monies are very helpful to
And
the
all the
village.
taxpayers in the village benefited from the tennis program this year, that's for sure.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
No, we're very happy with it. And as I say, we're pleased to present 5.49.
Right.
Everybody'd like it lower, but we think being prudent, we've taken a good amount of the dollars.
And it's probably one of the lowest increases in the entire county.
Well, Murray Avenue School has scheduled its spring fair this week. For all the details, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Smith.
Looking for something fun to do with the kids? Need that last-minute Mother's Day gift? Come to the annual Murray Avenue School Spring Fair and Silent Auction on Saturday, May 10th from 11 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, rain or shine. On a beautiful day, it's in the playground off Damon Terrace. And if it's wet, the festivities go indoors. And what will you find? Well, there's something for everyone. The silent auction, with the support of local merchants and the Murray community, features practical, frivolous, and just plain fun stuff. You can bid on tickets to Mets and Yankees games, digital cameras, a ruby and diamond bracelet, a wonderful baby blanket made by Murray mom Lyerly Peniston, whose blanket business has been featured in InStyle magazine, and a whole lot more. Oh yes, and for those of you vying for Parent of the Year, Zootopia tickets. And talk about fun and games. Head down the inflatable slide, through the caterpillar, or up the rope climb. Try your hand at the baseball and milk bottle throws, and lots of other games. And one of the favorites is the cakewalk. Play the game and win a cake of your choice, often baked by a local family. And there are lots of them. The Green Thumb booth allows parents to pre-order and purchase beautiful bedding plants and hanging baskets. There are crafts created and donated by Murray parents, including jewelry and tie-dyed items. The police department will be on hand to fingerprint children and discuss the DARE program. Future firefighters and everyone else can explore the town fire department's on-site truck and ambulance and talk to the firefighters. Children vie for lunch with their teacher or special outings with school staff during the popular Teachers Raffle. And don't forget, food. The American Food Booth's hot off-the-grill hamburgers and hot dogs, and this year is bringing in chicken breast burgers. There's a Japanese food stand featuring rice balls, yakitori, and edamame beans. And of course, there are home-baked goodies at the old-fashioned country kitchen. The Spring Fair and Silent Auction are the Murray PTA's biggest fundraising events. You can support local schools and have a blast. See you there at the fair.
And we'd like to welcome Laura as a new reporter. If you're interested in volunteering, please stay tuned for details at the conclusion of our program.
Have you ever wanted to learn how to save a life? Well, now's your chance. You can join CPR Saturday classes where you'll learn life-saving techniques for heart attack and choking victims. The class is an excellent resource for child care providers, parents, lifeguards, and all emergency care personnel. In just one day, you'll receive American Heart Association certification in cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, automatic external defibrillation, or AED, and Heimlich procedures. All classes are held from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The next scheduled class dates are May 17 at Town of Mamaroneck Firehouse, June 14th at Mamaroneck Emergency Medical Services Headquarters, and July 19th at the Town of Mamaroneck Firehouse. The cost of the program is $40 for the general public, but free to paid and volunteer members of Larchmont and Mamaroneck Local Ambulance Corps, Fire, and Police Departments. You're encouraged to enroll ahead of time to assure that enough instructors are on hand. For more information, please call in 914 area code 381-7803.
And that's really great. In one day, you can learn all those procedures.
Important stuff to know.
Save a life. To get the details surrounding the disposal of organic waste in Larchmont, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Cruz-Colon.
As required by the New York State law, now through October the 1st, the Larchmont Joint Sanitation Commission will collect yard waste separate from garbage. You must only place materials at the curb on your scheduled collection day, Monday through Thursday. Pickups will be done on Thursday, Tuesday through Friday. Pickups will be done on Friday. The police will give warnings for failure to comply. Organic waste must be placed in biodegradable brown paper bags or an extra garbage can, and containers must be no more than 60 pounds. Any tree, branches, or twigs you are disposing of can be tied or placed in containers, but cannot be longer than 4 feet by 4 inches in diameter. If you have a gardener maintaining your property, make sure they know about these guidelines. If you prefer to dispose of the organic waste on your own, the Larchmont Mamaroneck Joint Sanitation Commission will accept it at the Maxwell Avenue Recycling Facility, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., except on Wednesdays, and Saturdays between 8 and noon. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Laura Cruz-Colon.
And if you have trash that you're unsure about how to discard, such as sinks, couches, paint, or metal, call the Department of Public Works at 834-6965. And just a note, construction debris, building materials, tree stumps, dirt, stones, bathtubs, pool tables, and pianos are not collectible.
There's a new look planned for Pine Brook Park. With the details, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger.
Her name is Dorothy Hagney, and she was the first head of the Beautification Committee. The co-head of the Larchmont Village's Beautification Committee, Margaret Bocconi, told the Larchmont Gazette she likes to refer to her as the unofficial mayor of Larchmont because she knew everyone in the village, all store owners, and was an incredible volunteer on many levels. While Dorothy was still living, her friends raised money for a garden, and the village of Larchmont generously donated the land. The location of the Memorial Hagney Garden welcomes the public as they enter the village of Larchmont from New Rochelle, located at the corner of Pine Brook Drive and Palmer Avenue. Well, Dorothy Hagney's garden is getting a makeover. A Hagney Family Connected Foundation has donated funds to the Beautification Committee annually, a portion of which is designated specifically for the redesign of the Hagney Garden. Additional funds will come from the Beautification Committee, who, by the way, raises the majority of their financial support for its projects. In addition, the village will be supporting the Hagney Garden project by supplying most of the labor through the Department of Public Works. Recently, the public and the village board got a look at the garden's redesign. Compliments of Larchmont resident and landscape designer Liam Wilters via his drawings and sketches. Although the principal designers are Sandy Feldman, Phyllis Schoenberger, and Cecile Smith. The Beautification Committee is hoping the Department of Public Works, Joe Bedard, will be able to include the Hagney Garden into their already full spring schedule. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Christina Bolger.
Larchmont has a new ice cream store. It's Longford's Ice Cream, in the same location as the old Baskin-Robbins. Being the ice cream connoisseur that I am, I stopped by to sample some of their homemade ice cream. The store was busy, but co-owners Christy and Robbie took a break to announce their grand opening.
Hi, welcome to Longford's Ice Cream. I'm Christy and this is my partner Bobby. We've been open for a couple of weeks now. Most of you have come in. We are having our grand opening on May 10th. There will be some activities for the kids. We're going to have face painting and there will be a surprise guest, Elmo.
Looking for a taste of quality and freshness? Come to Longford's Ice Cream. We have all your favorite flavors and many special flavors that are all homemade by us for you. Stop in May 10th, celebration for family and friends.
The new Longford store is at the corner of Larchmont Avenue and Palmer Avenue in Larchmont Village.
A double scoop for me. With all the details surrounding LMC-TV short video contest, here is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Kate Fahey.
Larchmont Mamaroneck Community Television has announced its 4th annual Almost Anything Goes short video contest. There's over $500 in prizes and will be awarded on LMC-TV's award night at the Emmeline Theater at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 22nd. The contest is open to anyone who works, lives, or goes to school in Larchmont or Mamaroneck. The videos should be between 30 seconds and 30 minutes in length and can be about any topic. The deadline is 10 a.m. on Monday, May 19th. For more information, contact LMC-TV at 914-381-2002 extension 202 or visit lmctv.org. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Kate Fahey.
If you're wondering what all the traffic on Mamaroneck Avenue is all about, once again, we turn to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger as she speaks with Mamaroneck's mayor and deputy mayor.
I'm so happy you could come back and tell us
Sure.
about Mamaroneck Avenue and what's going on with Con Ed.
Yeah, we've had a construction project by Con Edison, and Mamaroneck Avenue is a county road. And somehow it slipped through the cracks that they were going to inform or advise or even coordinate the goings-on of their construction project.
They didn't notify
They really just showed up and started working.
Oh.
And Mayor Trifoletti, I'll let him take the ball in a minute, basically step forward because we had a lot of complaints from the citizens as well as all the
business
owners down there. Yeah. Mayor, how did we do with that?
Well, what happened was we started noticing that the Con Ed really was not following the rules. They had open trenches. There was dust all over the place, traffic jams. So what we did was I got together with the police chief and our Department of Public Works and the people from Con Edison, and we told them more or less just stop and why don't you come and visit us and tell us what exactly you're doing. The traffic situation is a mess.
Safety hazards.
Safety hazards, et cetera, et cetera. So we have to have a very frank meeting with them. We now have 4 or 5 policemen out on those roads daily.
Directing the traffic.
Directing traffic.
Okay.
Con Ed is paying for it. And they're meeting daily with the police chief and with our Department of Public Works people and making sure that on a daily basis everyone knows what's going on and that it's safe for the residents in this village. I just want to add also that Trustee Angeletta, in fact, had talked to Con Ed a month before they started, and they had given him assurances that, oh, everything will be fine. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
No.
No.
But they are here, and are they here from Monday to Friday, Monday through Saturday?
I think
Monday
through
through Friday, and do you know what time they start, what time they end, so people can plan accordingly with the traffic?
The whole day.
The whole day.
The
is
whole
when they're
day. They
there.
started early in the morning until
4:35.
4:35.
And it appears they're going to be there probably through the month of May. Our policemen will in fact be there every day, and Con Ed is paying for our policemen.
Yeah,
We're not. It's not costing us a penny. They're paying for it.
It's going all the way up to the 95 bridge.
Yep.
So even when they're not working, the police will still be there directing traffic.
Well, when there's a need for them to be there, they will be there to direct traffic. And it appears that in the morning and during the rush hour in the evening are the 2 critical times. After that, it seems to be dissipating. And also, if you notice, Con Ed is really cleaning up a lot now. A lot of their equipment is off the road at nighttime. And so it's helping us a lot.
So they're also going to repave Mamaroneck Avenue. I'm hoping they're going to mill it so that we're not going to have conditions like we have on the Post Road where the sewers are below the grade and the water's running over the top of them. So we're going to get into that pretty heavily. But the county is supposed to repave Mamaroneck Avenue, which is a nice benefit to the village.
And one final question. When will this be completed?
We hope by June 1st.
From your mouth to God.
Sounds good. Thank you again, gentlemen. We appreciate you coming in and informing us.
Thank you. Thanks.
And that's it for this week's edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
If you want to see this news show again, you can. It's on every weekday night at 7 p.m. We record one show each week, and it's replayed on this channel, LMC-TV, channel 75.
Or if you want to request to see it, you can call LMC-TV after 4 in the afternoon during the week at 698-6808 and ask to see the news show. They'll try to put it on at a time that's convenient for you to watch.
And this reminder, this news program is an all-volunteer effort, and we could sure use a few more volunteers, either behind the scenes or as a reporter. Or maybe you'd like to shoot video. Whatever the case, we need you.
Just like Laura Smith. And in short, if you want to volunteer to help us put this program on, we have something for you to do. Stop by some Thursday night in the LMC-TV studios and see how we do what we do.
The LMC-TV studios are in the Mamaroneck High School, the Palmer Avenue side, just up the stairs, across from the landmark Walter's hot dog stand. We get things started around 7 p.m., and we'd love to see you.
Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or some video of an event that you'd like us to put on this news show, bring it to the studio or write to us at Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News in care of LMC-TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, New York, 10543.
Thanks again for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Mike Witch.
And I'm Alyssa Miro. And we leave you this evening at Harbor Island, where the cherry trees are almost in full bloom. They were planted in 1968 and have graced Boston Post Road ever since, a sure sign that spring is here.
News. I'm Sven.
And I'm Alyssa Miro. Our top story. As you may have already heard, New York's Senate and Assembly openly rebelled against Governor Pataki's budget and process this week, and as a result, the legislature voted to set back the date for voting on school budgets and boards from May 20th to June 3rd. This postponement will give Albany more time to pass its own budget. They also agreed to put back much of the state funding to education that Governor Pataki had excised. Senator Susie Oppenheimer from Mamaroneck, a Democrat on the Senate Education Committee, was pleased to report restoration of most of the cut to the Mamaroneck schools. Under the governor's proposal, state aid to the Mamaroneck School District would have been reduced by over $440,000. With the legislature's restorations, $390,000 of the governor's cut would be restored, and a huge property tax increase could be avoided. Mamaroneck could end up receiving over $5 million in state aid. With the change in the school budget vote date, several steps must be made, including revising dates for legal notices, which will be printed in newspapers, moving the school board budget hearing back 2 weeks, and revising the budget books. The new dates and deadlines are as follows. May 20th, budget hearing at 7:30 p.m. May 27th, the last day to apply for an absentee ballot by mail. May 20th, registration day, 7 to 10 or 4 to 9. May 29th, the deadline for people to register by 4 p.m. June 2nd is the last day to apply for an absentee ballot in person, and June 3rd is the budget vote from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at each of the elementary schools.
The $23.8 million 2003-2004 school budget for the Rhinebeck School District was unanimously adopted by the Rhinebeck Board of Education last week. The new budget is up by $1.2 million from last year. The exact effect of the increase on the tax rate in Rye Town and Rye City cannot yet be determined because of pending litigation between the two municipalities. The new budget anticipates an increase of enrollment by 3.1% at the middle and high schools. New teachers will be hired. A part-time foreign language teacher and a part-time science teacher will join the staff at the middle school. A full-time English teacher, a part-time foreign language teacher, part-time science teacher, and a full-time teaching assistant for science will increase the staff at the high school. A major impact on the school budget comes from the increase in health insurance. Health insurance costs are going to go up by about 12%. The expenses for salaries and benefits make up 74% of the school year budget. Because of the delay in the adoption of the New York State budget, the school budget has also been delayed. The budget vote, which was planned for May 20th, has now been postponed until June 3rd. Peter Mustich, the superintendent for Rhinebeck School District, was quoted in the New Journal News saying, "We may have a change in state aid. If there is, we want to take advantage of it." End of quote.
Well, the date has been set for the trial of Vincent M. Peasy III of Mamaroneck, a 48-year-old Mamaroneck man accused of scamming close to $350,000 from relief agencies in the aftermath of September 11th. Mr. Peasy and his business partner ran an executive recruiting agency and are accused of claiming their business had its offices in the South Tower at the time of the terrorist attacks. The charges include fraud, conspiracy to defraud relief agencies, and making false statements to relief agencies. Prosecutors charged that Kaltavoskoy, which filed a $1 million loan application on October 5th, 2001, with the U.S. Small Business Administration. He was his business partner. The SBA approved a loan just a few weeks after Peasy claimed losses in the attacks. Peasy and Kaltavoskoy are also accused of scamming over $120,000 from other agencies, including the American Red Cross. The trial date was set for September 8th by U.S. District Judge Loretta Preska. Peasy remains free on $25,000 bond and Kaltavoskoy on $100,000 bond.
With information on how Larchmont librarians are feeling about the New Rochelle Library budget vote, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Cruz-Cohen.
On June 3rd, the New Rochelle will be voting on a $3.1 million library budget. The vote date has been set up to coincide with New Rochelle school elections. Both were originally scheduled for May 20th. If the vote doesn't pass, New Rochelle's library will be closed on June 30th. City residents failed to support the budget in 2 separate elections last year. The City Council picked up most of the bill. However, this will no longer be possible. Voters have been notified that there are no more funds to cover the cost of operating the library. It seems that neither the city, county, nor state is in position to extend a hand should the vote fail to pass. Librarians from Larchmont and Mamaroneck fear that the interlibrary loan system in effect here in Westchester, which extends availability to New Rochelle residents, the convenience to borrow and use their books and videos will no longer exist. Diane Courtney, director of the Larchmont Library, stated that their board will most likely vote to suspend service to people with New Rochelle library cards. To make matters worse, it's a good probability that they won't be able to borrow from any other library in Westchester. According to Ms. Courtney, the 38 libraries in the Westchester Library System operate independently. However, there is a high level of cooperation among them. It is the only system in New York State that lends bestsellers and media such as DVDs. Because last year's budget defeat, New Rochelle stopped buying its titles and reduced its hours of operation. Of course, this caused an increase in the amount of residents that turn to the Larchmont Library for service, and the numbers keep rising. Joan Crott, director of Mamaroneck's library, agreed and said Mamaroneck already serves 18,000 people in this community. And as busy as we are, we would not be able to handle the 70,000 people from New Rochelle. Mayor Tim Iadoni told the Journal News that it is their wish to keep the library open, for the negative impact would be felt by the whole library system in Westchester. If the vote passes, it will cost New Rochelle residents about $174 more in taxes per year, and the library will remain open.
Sonny Goldberg and Carolyn Pomerantz stopped by our studios to talk about all the plans underway for the first Village of Mamaroneck Historic Harbor Street Fair. Here is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger with the interview.
Sonny and Carolyn, you have some exciting information for us about the first historic Harbor Street Fair in the Village of Mamaroneck.
You got it. We are very excited. We are going to have everything from the tall ships to the reenactment of the Civil War and the Revolutionary War, and we've had the most amazing group of volunteers in the Village of Mamaroneck that you can possibly imagine.
Oh, I say that wholeheartedly. We're so appreciative to how many people have come out to help us and be involved in this fair. We're tracing Mamaroneck's history through time, starting out at the harbor, and we're closing down Mamaroneck Avenue all the way from the train station through to the harbor and creating like a pedestrian wall.
Oh, that's going to be everything from antiques at the beginning where the harbor is to the end of food court, and all of the businesses are getting involved. There's a silent auction. At the harbor, there'll be children's games. There'll be the schoolhouse will be available to walk through. We'll have parking, satellite parking at the high school. There'll be parking at the harbor as well as the tiers. It's going the top tier. The police, Hank Paul, Andy LaRocco, Fire Department, DPW.
Everybody's involved. It sounds like it's a real community.
Absolutely. In fact, we have over 28, 30 community organizations that will be part of this event, each having a table and doing something really interesting. Like there's pet rescue. They're going to bring kittens and puppies to try to find homes for.
As well as the
and the Girl Scouts selling cookies, and Sheldrake is bringing, the Life Center is bringing an aquarium and giving nature walks, and it's just going to be fabulous.
Jam-packed.
So let us tell you quickly about about some of the events in the harbor. We have both sides of the Revolutionary War coming for to reenact the skirmish of Heathcote Hill.
That's so exciting. But what time?
You're going to have a whole map. Do not worry about it.
Okay.
The Journal,
when is the ship going to arrive?
They'll be there. But the Journal News has been wonderful.
Oh,
Lori Thomas of the Journal. They're giving a big map that will be available for everybody.
Fabulous.
Roger Serlin, Judge Serlin, has given us his office for the headquarters.
Wow.
So that day there'll be greeters and meeters, and people will be passing out maps, and you'll know the entire day's events.
But everyone should save on their calendar Sunday, June 8th from 11 to 4 and get here early, because the parking is going to go quickly probably. But
I bet it will.
There's nonstop events. We have the county's soundstage, and we're putting it right in the middle.
Thanks to George Latimer, I might add. Our good friend George.
Yes. We're putting it right in the middle of Mamaroneck Avenue in front of Payless. And it will have non-stop continuous music. We have
sounds so exciting.
A Broadway child star singer who lives in the Village, who was Cosette in Les Mis.
I know who that is.
She's singing our national anthem. And
she's wonderful.
We've got a whole dignitaries list of people who are going to open the avenue, and we'll cut the ribbon. And
so exciting.
Dahlm at Mozart's is doing continual entertainment. There's going to be a USO canteen at the Pizza Connection.
Well, since you have so much going on, nonstop, do you need help? Do you need volunteers?
Absolutely. we hope that that everyone can give us at least 2 hours of their day.
And Judy Rosner will be glad.
And we have a job to fit every person. So
Sounds
they should call Judy Rosner. She's our volunteer coordinator. And we're also looking for businesses from the Village who are not on Mamaroneck Avenue to come and be part of the event, take a table in the event, and they can contact
Janet DeMacy.
Oh, no, that's for the food court. If they're a food business, contact Janet DeMacy.
If they're a business and they want to be helpful, or they want to do something with the silent auction, that's Manny Innes at Roberts, who's been fabulous, as well as Tony Lividini at Brewers.
He can help too. So they can put you in touch with the right people. But
and you're going to be there, and LMC-TV is covering the whole
wouldn't
thing.
Miss it.
Our two former mayors, Joe Lanza and Debbie Chapin, are both helping get the business community involved. So any business that wants to be involved and we haven't hit yet, please know that we want you to be there.
Mayor Trifoletti has been unbelievable. He emails me all night long.
Right.
I mean,
the same thing with
if anyone sees him, they can just ask, hey, I'm willing to volunteer.
Right.
And we'll see you there.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thanks
It's
for
so
having
exciting.
We can't wait.
Good luck.
Playland has opened its gates for the 75th season. Since 1928, when the park first opened its gates and became the first planned theme park in America, Playland has been providing the best in fun and entertainment from families in Westchester and throughout the tri-state area. Playland will introduce 2 new rides, a new train, new bumper cars, and a state-of-the-art stage. Dates of ride openings and the stage will be announced. The new rides this season will feature the Crazy Mouse coaster at the north end of the main park. Reminiscent of Playland's former Wild Mouse coaster, this coaster will make riders feel as if they are approaching the edge of the track, only to make sharp twists and turns. The new Playland Express train will premiere this spring with a locomotive that is a replica of an original 1863 CP Huntington. The train ride area will be themed to include special park locations as the train leaves Playland and travels through Westchester County and New York City. The ride is also accessible to the handicapped. Over 50 new auto-scooter bumper cars, which are replicas of old-fashioned cars and feature a comfortable lap bar instead of a strap, will premiere this season. Free weekly fireworks will be displayed every Wednesday and Friday evening in July and August, as well as July 3rd and 4th. All shows begin at 9:15 p.m.
The Board of Trustees of Larchmont voted to support its $11,243,645 budget for the 2003-2004 year at a special meeting held on April 28th. The approved budget was close to what was presented at the preliminary budget hearing and represents a 6.5% increase, or $212.85 per $1,000 of assessed property value. The only amendment included was an additional $6,000 for the Community Counseling Center, which provides mental health services in the schools and tri-municipal area, which will be supplied through the $421,000 being used from surplus funds.
To tell us about the passing of a beloved educator and retired Rhinebeck school chief, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Smith.
Superintendent of the Rhinebeck schools for 15 years and a World War II veteran, Clayton L. Aiken, passed on in his sleep on Sunday, April 27th at his home in Larchmont. He was 78. He was an outstanding educator and a really wonderful human being, said current Rhinebeck Superintendent Peter J. Mustich in the Journal News. He went on to say that Dr. Aiken was able to have a clear vision of what the district should look like and to help make that vision a reality. During his term as superintendent from 1974 to 1989, Dr. Aiken was a true innovator with decisions such as the elimination of the position of principal and appointing curriculum coordinators to oversee instruction. He also established teacher teams, which guided 8 to 10 students and enabled the children to be more individually nurtured. PEP scores, SAT scores, and other assessments improved dramatically during his tenure. Born in 1924 in Jamestown, New York, Dr. Aiken served as a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army, as a radio operator on a B-29 bomber flying 30 missions over Japan, and was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross and Air Medal with 2 clusters. He received an undergraduate degree from Washington University in St. Louis and a master's degree and a doctorate from Teachers College, Columbia University. Dr. Aiken became the youngest principal in Minnesota at age 23 and was later thought to be the youngest superintendent in New York at age 28. Following his retirement, he formed an educational consulting firm. He was totally devoted to his church and religion, the First Church of Christ Scientist of Mamaroneck. He was also president of the Mamaroneck Lions Club from 1992 to 1994. In addition to his wife, he is survived by their daughter Karen Aiken and son David Bradshaw Aiken, both of Larchmont, and 4 children from a previous marriage, 2 sisters and 10 grandchildren. On a personal note, I would like to say that I was privileged and grateful to have called Dr. Aiken a friend. I know I speak on behalf of his family and friends, students and colleagues when I say that he will be greatly missed. For the Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Laura Smith.
Chatsworth Avenue School has scheduled its spring fair this week. For all the details, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Maura Carlin.
Come one, come all to the Chatsworth Carnival, Sunday, May 18th from noon till 5 p.m. at the Chatsworth School. Rain or shine, there's something for everyone. There'll be rides like the Giant Slide and the Rock Climb, or try your hand or feet at the sport challenges, such as the soccer kick, speed pitch, basketball toss, and surfboard simulator. There are separate games for younger children and even a petting zoo. Larchmont police and firefighters will be there, and so will Ready for This kids and those of you who live in a pineapple under the sea, SpongeBob SquarePants. You win a prize at the Wellstock raffle. Buy a white elephant. No, of course. I mean, go to the White Elephant and use book sale. You never know what you'll find. There'll be craft activities, and don't forget the food. And if all that just isn't enough for you, just come and see friends and neighbors. The Chatsworth PTA says they've had nearly 1,000 people there in the past. Don't miss it. That's Sunday, May 18th from noon until 5. I'm following the fun for Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Maura Carlin.
And we'd like to welcome Maura back to the news show after having her 3rd child.
With all the details surrounding LMC-TV's short video contest, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Laura Smith.
Larchmont Mamaroneck Community Television, more commonly known as LMC-TV, has announced its 4th annual Almost Anything Goes short video contest. There is over $500 in prizes and will be awarded on LMC-TV's award night at the Emmeline Theater at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 22nd. The contest is open to anyone who works, lives, or goes to school in Larchmont or Mamaroneck. The video should be between 30 seconds and 30 minutes in length and can be about any topic. The deadline is 10 a.m. on Monday, May 19th. For more information, contact LMC-TV at 914-381-2002, extension 202, or visit www.lmc-tv.org. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Laura Smith.
And just a reminder that the winner of the short video contest will be announced at the LMC-TV Awards Show being held on Thursday, May 22nd at the Emmeline Theater beginning at 7:30 p.m. And did you know our very own LMC News volunteer, Missy Moore, will be receiving the Volunteer of the Year Award. Congratulations, and we hope to see you all there.
Certainly. Larchmont Friends of the Family is set to honor actor Christopher Reeve's wife, Dana Reeve. Here with the details is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger.
Dana Reeve, the wife of actor Christopher Reeve, will be honored by the Larchmont Friends of the Family on May 28th. She will receive the 2003 Best Friend Award at a dinner that will take place at Orienta Beach Club in Mamaroneck. Ms. Reeves' career includes frequent appearances on television and is also known for her singing. Since her husband's accident that left him paralyzed, she has become an advocate for medical research, funding, and patients' rights. She also volunteers her time for several local and global causes. Larchmont Friends of the Family has been helping residents who have had a loved one suffer from a debilitating disease or die suddenly for 6 years. They assist with meals, transportation to and from medical appointments, children's educational needs, provide counseling, and offer financial support. The non-for-profit organization relies on volunteers for their time and services. The organization also relies on the community for donations for those in need. Several Larchmont merchants have also supported the organization with their own resources and skills. If you would like more information on Larchmont Friends of the Family, or if you would like an invitation to the dinner honoring Ms. Reeve, please call 914-833-2513.
New fares and ticket buying options are now in effect in our area for Metro North. To give an example of the one-way peak fare, if you buy your ticket on the train, it will cost you $11. Buying it at the station, the ticket is $8, and buying it on the web, the ticket will cost you only $7.60. The monthly ticket bought on the web costs $171.50. A monthly ticket bought at the station costs $175. One can also save an additional 9% when a monthly ticket is purchased with a joint unlimited monthly Metro card. New train schedule effective April 27th is in effect at this time, and there have not been any major changes compared to the previous schedule. Those commuters who are doing a reverse commute in the morning, they will notice that there is now a 7:03 a.m. express train from Grand Central to Stamford that only makes a few stops along its way to Stamford on the New Haven line.
Bulky house syndrome is still a hot topic in the village of Larchmont. As we reported last week, the board decided to postpone adopting new zoning codes until May 19th. Debate in Larchmont marches on as the Board of Trustees voted 4-1 Monday night to postpone adopting new zoning codes. The Larchmont Board of Trustees will continue to talk about the new zoning codes, including house height ratios, house accessories such as detached garages, and dimensions on land use, and then vote on May 19th at 7:30 p.m. in the Larchmont Village Hall, 120 Larchmont Avenue. For information, call the village clerk at 834-6230. Copies of the revisions, which include all the proposed changes, are available at Village Hall.
The Mamaroneck High School's Future Business Leaders of America stopped by our studios to talk about a recent award. Here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel.
Once again, I have the privilege of meeting people from the FBLA. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And I am joined with 4 Future Business Leaders of America. I have some notes here, very specific ones. I want to find out specifically from you, Tom. How are you tonight?
Good.
Tom Fiashko. How are you?
I'm good.
Tom, I'd like to find out, in your words, what is FBLA?
Well, FBLA is a national, state, and local organization that prepares students for the business world by teaching them important skills.
And, okay, Alex, what kind of skills did you learn from this?
Well, I learned a lot of self-discipline and how to prioritize, because in my events I had to study like a lot of material very quickly.
What were your events?
My event was economics and business calculations, as well as entrepreneurship, so I really had to study, so it was good.
That's great. Nargis, I'm looking at these great awards. I'm looking at all the work that all of you have turned out, but I want to find out more of what FBLA does.
FBLA does a lot of community service. For example, we went dancing with the senior citizens. We raised money for the March of Dimes. We raised money for the American Diabetes Association. We also collected food for Thanksgiving for the needy in the community.
Well, these are all very good things that you did.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I really do. Herbie, Mr. Weisberg,
Yes.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty well.
I'm glad to hear it, and thank you for joining us. I wanted to find out about some public speaking engagements. I know you spoke to a number of different clubs. Can you tell me a little bit about that, please?
Well, the most recent public speaking event that we did was speaking in front of the Kiwanis Club. And the Kiwanis Club, as you probably know, is a local organization of business leaders who give money to certain charities. And now we find ourselves in a situation where they might be able to help us. So it was pretty good that we met with them. We've also met with a variety of different schools. We've made presentations trying to get them to start an FBLA club, because FBLA is such a great organization.
That's terrific. Tom, I wanted to find out about the different types of fundraising that you did. Any specific ones you can tell me about?
Well, this year some members have been selling Sour Power candy belts.
Okay.
And they've been going around to school, people in school, their friends, family, and just selling them for 25 cents each or 5 for $1. And the money that they make goes to their FBLA accounts, which help pay for their trips that we take. Also, working in the school store is a fundraiser where we also raise money for our trips.
That's good. So, Herbie, more about building leadership. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because I'm hearing all about fundraising, charitable events. But when you're doing this, tell me about the skill that you get.
Well, each week we hold a meeting with all of the membership of FBLA. And Nargis, our president, leads these meetings. We make agendas for the meetings. We run them in proper parliamentary procedure. We also document the meetings with minutes. We use publicity to get the message out to the community and several other forms of leadership.
Okay, Nargis, I understand you and Herbie worked together on a project, and matter of fact, one of these awards was primarily for something you did. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yes, me and Herbie and another member, Sam Roberts, wrote this report, which summarizes everything that we did throughout the year. Community service, partnership with business, working in the school store, for example, fundraisers. And we just summarized it, and we worked on it with Publisher, Microsoft Publisher.
That's great. And which award was it that you won?
This one. And it was third in the state.
Now wait, there's more awards at the table. Alex.
Yeah, as you know, I entered the economics competition, and I won first place for the entire state.
Congratulations.
It was really terrific.
Tom?
I entered the Outstanding New FBLA Member, grades 7, 8, and 9.
Why don't you turn that around so everybody can see that?
And basically I had to write a report of everything I did that year in FBLA, why I think I should be an FBLA Outstanding New Member. And then I went on an interview at one of the conferences.
And also, I understand that you came in third in the major competition. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm so happy to have you all with us tonight. Thank you very much. And I can't wait to hear more about what you've done.
How does summer school sound to you? Well, what if it's Red Cross Summer Safety School? With all the details on registering to get safe for summer, here's Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Kate Fahey.
The Westchester County Red Cross is launching its summer safety training at 11 different locations across the county. The classes range from adult CPR, infant child CPR, water safety, first aid basics, automated external defibrillator essentials, lifeguard training, and a new lifeguard management orientation. The classes run through June 18th and the cost between $40 and $250. Red Cross is also offering professional rescuer courses. The new lifeguard management orientation will be held at the chapter offices in White Plains on Friday, June 13th and Saturday, June 14th between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon. The course covers the responsibilities of the lifeguard supervisor, the risk management, and emergency response. The cost of the course is $30. For more information on the courses and schedules, visit www.redcross.org/ny/Westchester or call Red Cross at 946-6500 and ask for health and safety. That number again is 946-6500.
And with the results in the Larchmont Run held last week, here's Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger.
In the 5K race, the overall male winner was Joseph Garland at 17 minutes and 59 seconds. The overall female winner was Talia Kravis at 22 and 44 seconds. In the 1 mile fun run, boys 12 and under, winners were in first place Aaron Thal, second place Tom Lodge, and third place Peter Geithner. In the girls 12 and under category, the winners were in first place Anna Radcliffe, second place Marion DeBray, and in third place Chelsea Walters. Congratulations to all the winners, and we'll see you again next year.
With news from the Real Estate Corner, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenn.
A condo or condominium is real property that requires a title deed. A co-op is personal property with a stock certificate. Now, the purchasing price for a condo unit, and then you pay a percentage of the common area that you share. In a co-op, you buy the unit or you buy shares in the corporation. Now, documents from the seller for a condo, you have to give a 2-year financial plan, house rules. For the co-op, you give the prospectus and 2 years financial and rules and a board application. Now, the down payment in the condo is the same as for purchasing a house. In a co-op, you usually have to put down at least 10% or more, depending on the building and the mortgage company. Banks have a questionnaire about the building for the mortgage in order to get the mortgage. The management company fills this out. And there is a right of first refusal. That is within the condo or the co-op. They have the right to purchase the unit before an outside person. Got all of that?
Thanks again for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Sven Oheme.
And I'm Alyssa Miro. We'll see you next week. And so good to have you back. You have to tell us about your assignment in Brussels.
Yeah.